The LNP will reform the departmental operations of child safety services with a focus on frontline services. I'm committed to taking the lead role in ensuring a whole-of-government approach to the protection of children. I will kickstart the Director Network and ensure it has clearly reportable outcomes that demonstrate how it is helping to make Queensland the safest place to raise a child. The Bligh Government has failed to deliver an integrated service to young people in care who are transitioning out of care. Young people will continue to need support in the transition to independence after leaving out-of-home care, and we should creatively and progressively improve ways in which young people can be supported in that transition. That's why the LNP has already committed to improve specific transition from care services that explicitly engages young people as they approach the time of leaving care, including from the age of 15 years with the preparation of a transition from care plan and increasing aftercare support from 18 years to 21 years. It's important to note that the number of transition from care plans currently undertaken is unacceptably low, and we need to ensure that young people have a transition plan in place so when they do exit care, they have the best possible start at independent living. With respect to aftercare support, Queensland has lagged behind the other jurisdictions. For example, Victorian legislation provides support to up to 21 years of age. Leaving out-of-home care can be a particularly difficult and confusing time for young people, and that's why the LNP will increase aftercare support to the age of 21. Because as these young people negotiate this new phase of their life, they need to know that there is still support available if they need it. Unfortunately, some young people without support after leaving care can find themselves involved in other government systems, including corrections, mental health, and drug and alcohol treatment services. And if I could just add, I think it's important that we listen to the views of our young people in and leaving care. They have lived experience, they have opinions, and their voice should be heard and have a place at the table when it comes to future policy development.
The government is currently trialling the placement of dedicated transition to independence workers in most of the child safety service centres across the state. Young people are being helped by caseworkers to transition towards independent living in accommodation appropriate to their needs. Young people moving into independent living have access to a range of essential and practical information in the Go Your Own Way kits launched last year by Child Safety Services in conjunction with the Create Foundation. The Bligh Government has promised to direct $15 million over 3 years, the biggest single investment in Queensland history, into supporting young people at risk of harm or at risk of offending. And of course, we all know that many children in the child protection system are known to the Youth Justice. Renewed funding of $13 million will go to 42 services under the Youth at Risk Initiative, or YARI, providing vital services to vulnerable young people across Queensland. Additionally, to meet the future demand for more support to youth at risk, a further $2 million will be provided from additional GST revenues. The LNP has provided no detail beyond the broad statements that it will extend a young person's transition to independence period to 21 years of age. This is a hollow promise unless they can commit extending payments for carers or provide other funded support. We're already investing $1.98 million over 3 years to provide support services to at-risk children and young people who are preparing to transition from care. Life Without Barriers will receive the funding so it can provide a range of transition services aimed at supporting children and young persons' placement in care. This is on top of the new YARS program. Most importantly to note that it is the Department of Community's No Wrong Door policy, which means that anyone seeking assistance, including young people transitioning out of care, can be linked to the services that they need. This support does not expire at any particular age and is available to people throughout their entire lives where necessary. Through the Bligh Labor Government's Queensland Education Trust Initiative, approximately $970 million will be used to support strategic education investments. This will include education programs to help children in care and programs to support innovation and excellence in education. Funding which will flow from the Trust in 2012-13 and will provide almost $1 billion in new grant funding for targeted initiatives for schools and skills in the first 10 years.